and fast forward to
Why
the
aren't you
notoriety
seeing this?
between Machinima
What
and
the
YouTube.
fuck? This is why. Let's start over. No, my bad.
Good job, Shane. Get ready for the next round.
If you were watching a Modern Warfare 2 video back in 2010 and you saw this intro pop up at the start, you knew you were about to witness an absolute banger of a video. But I have a question for you. Do you remember seeing this intro at all after maybe 2012, 2013, 2014? What happened to it? It was at one point the hallmark for the craziest video gameplays, supporting a lot of the greatest creators in YouTube history, such as CNanners, Hutch, Tabes, PewDiePie, G-Unit123. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember this video.
Hey guys, it's Shaggy here, aka G-Unit, and hello Machinima. I'm a new director here today, getting the world's fastest nuke in 30 seconds. Just showing you guys.
Yep, even that was Machinima. So how did it go completely defunct by 2019, along with every single video being deleted from the channel? Was it the terrible reputation that brought the channel undone?
Stay away from Machinima. They are absolute cancer. Now,
or the fact that they would prey on young, naive creators with long-term unbreakable contracts?
My contract had ended, and I messaged Machinima. I didn't get a single response.
This video is going to explore the rise and fall of Machinima on YouTube, alongside the many scams that occurred in the process.
Dude,
so
Machinima
theoretically, buckle up, fellas.
shit.
Let's get into it.
Like watching it at least, not working for it, I think.
Machinima was first created in January 2000 by Hugh Hancock in Los Angeles, California. However, for many of us, including myself, the early 2000s isn't really a relatable time period that we can all reminisce on. I'm more interested in the downfall of Machinima on YouTube. So let's ignore the early 2000s and fast forward to the notoriety between Machinima and YouTube, beginning in 2006. The Machinima YouTube channel began on the 16th of January 2006. In a strange kind of way, YouTube actually would have been a competitor for the original Machinima site, given that Machinima was actually somewhat of a video sharing service in the early 2000s. Machinima observed the strong growth of YouTube in the beginning and applied the old, if you can't beat them, join them. But Machinima was very smart about it. They didn't just join YouTube and start uploading their own videos, they actually set up a sub-business within YouTube called YouTube Networks. Back when the partner program was first introduced on YouTube, which was the original program where creators could earn money off their content, it was very difficult for content creators to monetize gaming content. YouTube was reluctant to monetize gaming content due to grey area copyright laws at the time, and they figured it was better to be safe than sorry, so no video games were monetized on the site. There are many examples which articulate how difficult it was to be a gaming content creator between 2006 and 2012 on YouTube. One example is with the content creator Darkside Phil. When Phil simply uploaded a gameplay of the game Splinter Cell in April 2010, Ubisoft, the developer, contacted YouTube and had Phil's whole channel taken down, just for uploading a gameplay of a single game. This highlights both how far gaming content has come on YouTube, but more importantly, how difficult it was to be a gaming YouTuber in the early days of YouTube. And this was only just being a gaming YouTuber, a level down from actually earning money from gaming YouTube videos. Then Machinima came along and offered a solution to the difficulty in getting gaming content monetized. Content creators could be guaranteed an income for their creation efforts by partnering with Machinima. Machinima would serve as a middleman, where content creators would upload videos under the Machinima channel rather than their own channel on YouTube. Machinima would then pay 60% of the revenue from that video to the original creator and keep 40% for themselves.
and all Machinima wanted in return was a 3-year contract and 40% of all my earnings.
40% seems like a lot of your ad revenue from YouTube, right? Well, at the time, you had the choice of keeping either 60% of your income or 0% of your income, given that if the content was uploaded on your own channel, you'd get nothing. So on the surface, it actually looked like an excellent deal for creators. Suddenly, creators had the opportunity to make money off the videos that they otherwise would have earned nothing from. Machinima also offered another simple, intangible advantage: the status of being a Machinima creator. Even as early as January 2009, as seen in this screenshot, Machinima has 367,000 subscribers, which eventually grew to 5 million in late 2012, making it the 4th biggest channel on YouTube by subscriber count at its peak. On top of this, as we mentioned in the intro, you just knew a video was going to be a good video when it had the Machinima introduction. So who wouldn't want to have the reputation of being a Machinima creator? It would also give the small creators that feeling of working alongside the other big guns in the video game content creation scene. You might only have a few hundred subscribers, but you could be featured on a channel with 5 million subscribers. Another concept that seemed very enticing on the surface, but it was very disappointing in reality, as we'll explore explore later.
There was no growth. All the analytics were just in a straight line. There was no growth, no subs, nothing. It all stayed exactly the same.
On top of this, Machinima would offer creators what they called a talent scout, which looking back now just kind of seems like a buzzword to entice naive kids who thought they had a special content creation talent into joining Machinima.
And what they did was they set me up with a talent manager. And this sounded really good originally. I was like, oh my god, I've got someone watching my back. I've got my own talent manager. This is amazing.
On top of this, Machinima also promised a team of people to help creators promote and create their videos, giving them advice and guiding them to success. So Machinima had all the bells and whistles on the surface, right? Everything a content creator could possibly want for growing their channel and income. What could possibly go wrong?
Into the news.
What's up, Drum Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar.
Oh, shit.
Let's get right into the news. We are here with Ross Boomsocks. He uploaded a video about a week ago that ended up on the front page of Reddit.
Oh shit!
Basically,
What League of Legends on the content?
Machinima. A lot
What
of
the
other
fuck?
YouTubers jumped in, expressing their complaints with Machinima.
So up until this point, we've highlighted the golden facade of Machinima, what it offered to creators, the promise of glory and riches, money on videos that wouldn't be monetized otherwise, the status of being Machinima creator, the promise of having a talent scout and support for your content. Looks like a pretty good deal on the surface, right? Well, the packages they offered were actually a lot more surreptitious than they appeared on the surface. The insidious part about Machinima was that they preyed on the short-term thinking of individual creators. The contracts that were handed out were usually 3 to 7 years in length, which to a lot of small YouTubers and YouTube newbies doesn't seem like a very long time. And even if it did, they just disregarded that because they just saw the opportunity for money and went into the contract blindly.
I signed the contract and it's for 3 years, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's 3 years. That's not that long of a time if you think about it.
Side note, it's actually a really long time.
Yeah.
But 3 years on
Actually,
YouTube can actually be a
fucking long time.
really long time. Mr. Beast went from 1.2 million subscribers to 33.5 million subscribers in the last 3 years.
Exactly.
PewDiePie gained 10 billion views in the last 3 years.
Exactly.
And
That's a
PewDiePie at
lot
one
of
point was
time.
actually partnered with Machinima. He had this to say about them back in 2015. I was screwed over by Machinima like many others 4 years ago, but managed to get out luckily. It's mind-boggling to me how they can still pull shit like this and get away with it. Unless Google steps up and puts tighter leashes on networks, YouTubers are going to be the ones who pay for their greediness. Hope your shit gets sorted, dude. Theoretically, if PewDiePie was partnered with Machinima for the last 3 years, earning approximately $3 per 1,000 views on his videos, his revenue would have been 30 million from 10 billion views. If you take 40% of that, a 3-year partnership with Machinima would have cost PewDiePie $12 million. Not exactly something to brush over lightly, right? Anyway, that's not a real scenario. However, it highlights how damaging some of these contracts had the potential to be at the time, and how much can be achieved on YouTube in the space of 3 years. On top of this, in certain situations, they even snuck extra months into the contract without notifying creators, such as this example with Ross Boomsticks.
And I only learned 2 or 3 months ago that he slipped an extra 7 months under my nose, that my contract was ending in 2017 instead of 2016.
The creators who signed up with Machinima when their channels were small in size started to realize how much money they could make on YouTube when exponential growth started to kick in. When a lot of creators signed up, they were only making, what, $1 a month on YouTube? So 40 cents a month for all the perks seemed like a good deal, right? Well, I'm sure that a boatload of those creators would have gotten to the point of making $1,000 a month, then $10,000 a month. And suddenly 40% per month to Machinima is really starting to hurt the bottom line and overall earnings for creators. But there was nothing they could do. They were stuck in the contract for the next 3 years. The promised talent scouts and help that was supposed to come to creators suddenly vanished as soon as they signed the contracts.
Now, nearly instantly, I regretted signing the contract because the second I signed it, my talent manager suddenly said that he was busy, and he only said that after I had signed the contract. And he said he was going away on a business trip and I'd basically be on my own for the next 5 to 6 weeks. So basically over a month I'd be completely in the dark.
It was also revealed that uploading to Machinima, the high status YouTube channel, really didn't provide any growth for small creators.
About 4 to 5 months pass and nothing. My channel doesn't grow at all. Views are still dead. I got about 200 to 300 views a video. I mean, for some people that sounds like a lot, but I wanted to grow and there was no growth. All the analytics were just in a straight line. There was no growth, no subs, nothing. It all stayed exactly the same.
The issue with Machinima was that they had so many creators signed up with them that it was impossible to differentiate yourself from the crowd on their channel. They would upload hundreds of videos a week, and how could a small channel with 100 subscribers compete with other channels on the network? It just came down to the fact that Machinima just really wasn't a good way to grow a channel. Uploading a video to a 5 million subscriber channel seems like a great growth method. But the reality was no one really clicked through from Machinima to your individual channel. Along with Machinima basically being a scumbag company that would prey on individuals with insanely unfavourable contract conditions, the truth was that the need for the middleman on YouTube just wasn't really there anymore by 2013. Machinima was originally introduced because individual YouTubers couldn't have their gaming content monetized. However, this was not really an issue anymore by 2013. The need for the middleman had almost completely disappeared by 2014. So what did this mean for the company? They basically had a boatload of creators who had signed 3 to 7 year contracts between 2009 and 2013, but absolutely no one else signing new contracts, given that there was no need to become a Machinima creator after 2013. This left Machinima earning a passive but dwindling income from the remaining contracts, with diminishing revenue as the contracts began to expire. And if we go back, the two reasons that people initially signed up for Machinima was to monetize their gaming content and have help from the talent scouts and staff at Machinima to help grow their channel. Content creators could monetize their own content, and the consensus and review from other creators was that Machinima wouldn't help at all creating videos or growing channels. So in the end, there was just no need for them. There wasn't a single thing that they could offer that individual creators couldn't do themselves. On top of no YouTuber actually having a use for the business, Machinima began to become the subject of bulk slander from almost every YouTuber that had been with it. As we've explored with many clips in this video like PewDiePie, Pyrocynical, Ross Boomsticks, even Drama Alert began to create videos slandering the dodgy actions of Machinima, and the Machinima reign just kind of imploded on itself on YouTube. Machinima continued to dwindle from 2014 all the way up until February 2019, when the entire channel went private. Machinima fired their 81 remaining staff, and Machinima announced that they would be ceasing operation and merging into another company. But as scummy as Machinima appeared to be from all the dodgy underlying contract terms, I still feel like Machinima has a special nostalgic spot in all of our hearts as a viewer. The Machinima legacy is one that will be left with the glory years of Modern Warfare 2 and old League of Legends. So Machinima, despite being a total scumbag of a business structure, thanks for sticking around, thanks for the nostalgia, and you 100% deserved what you had coming to you for screwing over so many creators. That's going to be all for this video, guys. If you guys could like and subscribe, I would appreciate the hell out of that, but other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Peace.
Anyway, I hope that's better. This is literally it's just fucking stupid. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I gotta say, like in the past, like Machinima was pretty cool, like what they uploaded, but not knowing what was behind it. Now you know that it's worse. And those contracts, 3 to 7 years, that's a long time. Like you don't even know if your content is going to make it that far, because some YouTubers like were like super popular for a year and then he dropped off to like the void, and then it's like over. And if you're contracted right then you're like wasting money basically, because Machinima is probably like investing money into you because you have a contract with them. You're investing money into yourself, and it's bullshit. It's like those contracts will never be like successful, or yeah, in my eyes at least. It's like, what the fuck? That's, I don't know. Bars in the Netherlands, we have like 7 month contracts to a year contracts, which are pretty standard. 2 years is like one of the longest contracts we can actually get. They're probably longer. Like we got a contract that's called a non-permanent, like non-perma contract, aka permanent contract. It's about those are always, you will be legally obliged to offer them a permanent contract after 3 timed contracts. So mostly you start off with 7 months, so you don't have like any probational time. Sometimes it's just 3, so you can actually have a month extra. And yeah, that's and those are like split over 3 years. Depending on how long they want you, it goes to like, it could be like 1 or even 2 year contracts at the start, and then have 3 simultaneously contracts like in a row. So 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, and then you get a permanent contract. And that's depending on if you want that, of course, and if they want you to be permanently there. If, of course, if you've been like superly like great for the company, my god, then they probably offer you that. But in a lot of cases, in like certain branches in our society, because like retail and pharma, well, not pharma, but retail and farms, you mostly get fucked over and just get hired. They just hire a nuke person. It's definitely in our country because we have a fixed overpopulation of 310%. So we have a lot of people to fill those places. And now with like the generation gaps and the generation stuff that we like didn't really see, that we had less kids, because the whole world said, oh, we need to have less kids because like what the fuck, we're going to be all overpopulated in a few fucking years. And now that's like, nah, not really. Anyway, I'm gonna edit my fucking stream so I can go play Valorant.